You guys had tons of questions about our above ground pool after this video went viral. So in this video, I'm going to be going in depth talking about how we prepped for our above ground pool and also all of our pool accessories. When putting together this pool, we wanted to make sure that we did it right, just because with our first and second pool, we didn't, and it caused our first and second pool to not last. We definitely wanted to make sure we did it the right way. First things first, this is a Bestway pool that we got from Sam's Club. It is 18 feet wide and 48 inches tall, and this pool with the pump was only $400. It was normally $450. This pool is actually wider than our last pool, and it was much cheaper by almost $150. Now this pool took us days to do because we had to prep the ground underneath. Our house is 100 years old, so our property is 100. I mean, obviously the land was here before, whatever. My point is, there was a lot of glass in the ground underneath of our pool, and you could feel it in our last pool. And there were so many roots because there is actually a tree that used to be right next to it. That tree, my dad cut it down and it actually fell on our last pool and bent a lot of the metal, and then ended up ripping the liner, which is why we've gone through so many pools. But anyway, there was a lot of tree roots underneath, so we had to pull out a lot of those. And also, since our last pool was 15 feet and this one's 18, we had to make it wider. And I knew that I wanted to do a border because I didn't want to have to worry about weed whacking the edges, because it just looks bad sitting on grass. It doesn't look good, and I was always scared when I would weed whack that I would damage the liner of the pool. So we had to make this level because this side is higher and that side was lower. And to even it out, we just put down play sand underneath of our pool. Tip to smooth out the sand underneath the pool and make it even is to smooth it out with a 2x4. As far as like the size of the wood, you only need about half the size of your pool. So if I had an 18-foot pool, then I would need an 8-foot board. But because I had an edge, really, I should have got a 10-foot board. I don't think they carry them. So I should have screwed another like 2 feet onto here. But it pretty much got the job done. But I put it flat like this. I put a piece of string on the end with a screw, drilled a hole and put a piece of rebar and hammered it into the center of my circle. And then I would just keep going around in a circle. I had a level on top so that way I can see if it was even or not. I use a pretty long level. It would have been easier to just have our local nursery drop off a load of dirt or sand, whatever, instead of the amount of bags that we had to get. I want to say we had to get over 40 bags of sand. It was a lot of money, and also it was a lot of work going back and forth between Lowe's, Home Depot. I think we did a total of 3 trips, so that added on to the timing why it took us so long. So learn from our mistakes. I kind of wish we just would have got enough dirt to just make it even instead of digging out the high parts, because that was a lot of work dealing with all those roots and cutting them out. Because we had so much glass and sand under our pool, I wanted to protect the liner. So we made sure that we put a tarp down underneath. This pool is 18 feet. I got a 21 by 21 tarp. It was a square tarp, so I did have to cut it. The tarp also acts as a weed barrier. Once we got the tarp down, we started putting together, oh wait, I missed a part. Because we put down sand, the sand can be soft and the weight of the legs can make the sand kind of give. It's not going to be even, so we needed something to support the legs. So we got 18 1-inch pavers to support the legs, which meant we then had to like kind of dig out room for the pavers. If you put the pavers on top of the sand, from what I've heard, I don't know if this is actually true, you could put too much weight on the belly of your pool and the liner can start to rip right there where the belly of the pool and the sides meet. Hopefully that makes sense. So we had to dig out 1 inch for each paver to make the pavers in the sand level. That was not fun. We only got like 1-inch squares. We did put the top of our pool together so that way we knew where each paver was supposed to go. Once we had the tarp down, then we could start building the pool. Building the pool is the easiest part of this whole process. It takes a half hour to an hour. It is so easy. And then we started filling our pool. Our pool did take a little bit to fill because at the time we were having problems with our well pump. We run on well water. In the past, it's only taken about a day and a half to fill, but this is a larger pool. So I think it would have took 2 days maybe if we would have just let the hose run. But we have an old house, old pump, old well pump. So it took forever. As the pool filled, I did have to make sure that each of these legs were straight and on top of the pavers. That is the trickiest part, because if you don't keep adjusting it, they will not be straight. I do recommend getting like a 2-foot level to make sure you are constantly checking the legs. You want to make sure that they are straight. This is where I went wrong on this side. This side is such a pain in the butt every time we put up a pool, but I didn't have a proper level. I tried to use a level on my phone, did not work out well, and the level that I ordered didn't come until it was too late. So get a 2-foot level for the legs so that way you can make sure that they are even. For the border, we used like a faux rock that I got on Amazon. We used almost 90 feet. It came in a huge box. I didn't think that we would use the whole thing, but we pretty much did. We also went around our filter because I didn't want grass growing in between here and there. Anything to avoid using a weed whacker around the pool. And we made sure that we got something for the pool filter to sit on so that way it was even. The sand filter is new to us. We use silica sand. Make sure that you're reading your sand filter's directions. I'm pretty sure it's silica sand number 20. It was something very specific. It's in the directions. I do think we're gonna end up getting a bigger sand filter because I feel like this, like everyone raves about having a sand filter, but this one just doesn't, like we run this a lot, and it just doesn't keep our pool as clean as I thought it would. Like everyone says that it should. Now the fun part, let's talk about our pool accessories. First things first is this pool bar. I knew, once I seen this pool bar, I knew that I had to have it because we used to sit a table on the outside of our pool and it just looked horrible. It just didn't look good. So I immediately knew that I wanted this. It is adjustable. You can lower it. You can set stools out here if you want to, but it's nice to have your radio, set your drinks, set your food, whatever you want right here. It's just nice to have. I knew this would be useful for us, like I said, because we had a table sitting out here before. The next thing that I knew that I wanted once I seen it were these pool bins. They come in a pack of 2, but they come with hooks. They come with a spot for your drink. So if you didn't want to do the pool bar, you could just get this. It holds your drinks, holds your phone while you're in the pool. It has slots so that way the water doesn't sit in here. These slots, these little holes are also on the bottom. But we put our sunscreen, we put our bug spray because we deal with so many bugs. But this was a must-have. You can also set your goggles, put a towel here. Love these hooks. This is very useful. I got this actually on TikTok Shop. That is originally where I seen it. I'm gonna insert a link below so that way if you want to get it on TikTok, usually things are cheaper on TikTok Shop versus Amazon, but I'll leave a link to both. Now with our previous pools, our pool net did not have a home, so this was also a must. I got this off of Amazon and it holds our child's pool vest as well. And next is my favorite feature, the pool fountain. This was also something that I got off of TikTok Shop, and that's where I seen it first. So again, I'm gonna link it below. It was very, very easy to install. I'll link my TikTok video that I did on this so you could see it. But in short, it connects to the part that pushes the water out. It came with the pieces that I needed for my above ground pool. It just twists on. It's very simple. You can adjust these. You can have them pointing down if you want. You can buy just the pool fountain, or you can buy the bundle with the lights. These look so cool at night. It comes with a remote. You can change the colors. I love the way it looks. Like this just changes everything about having an above ground pool. Again, I'll link everything in the description, but I love the way that we did our above ground pool. The only mistake that I really made with this pool is the legs on the other side. Once the fall comes, I'm gonna have to take out some of the water and fix the legs and then refill it. I will not be taking this pool down for the winter or fall, whatever you want to call it, because in the past I've taken this out, stored it in my garage, and what ended up happening is some critter ended up eating through the liner. That's what happened to our first pool, ended up with holes once we put it back. And then our second pool, my dad, like as soon as we got the pool, I asked my dad to cut down this tree and it fell on the ladder, it fell on the side of the pool, and then the liner started to rip. We did take it down to try to fix the ground, and when we did that, it ended up with more holes. So that's why we're on our third pool, and it was very important that we prep the ground this time to avoid having to take down the pool. I hope you guys enjoyed our pool. Post any questions that you have in the comments below, and I will update you guys in summer 2025.